Folks, welcome back. I have your latest home prices and insights for York region for week ending November 16th, 2022. Look, if you're a seller and you're on the market right now, I assume you want to sell. That's a general assumption, I know, but we're seeing sellers sitting out there and it's almost like they're oblivious to what's going on around them. And I'm not saying this to be mean, but look, selling, there's a lot of work involved. It really is an intrusion into your life if you're selling a home. So if you're going to go on the market, you need to know the real true numbers up front of what your home should sell for. This is not the time to test the market. Prices are where they are. They are not where they were. Prices are different now than just a few months ago in most cases. So if you're a seller and you want to sell, you're here at this price because that's what everybody else in your neighborhood is priced at. That's fine, maybe. But if one of those other sellers that's considered your competition drops their price and sells their home, you need to be aware of what's going on around you. You need to drop your price too if you want to sell. It makes no sense just sitting out there. Like I said, it's not the time to test the market, and you need to know the real prices of what's going on in your neighborhood. You need to work with somebody who's going to tell you the truth, and you need to decide if that truth makes sense for you to sell or not, because that's the number you're going to sell at. And the longer you sit out there denying the truth, the more your price is going to deteriorate, because days on market is your biggest enemy. If you think this video can help somebody you know, please pass it along. Let's get into the numbers. If you want to speak with me about your real estate situation, selling, buying, it's really simple. Below this video, in the description, you'll find a link to my calendar. Click on that, book a time that's convenient for you. This way, I'll see the appointment ahead of time and I'll make sure my schedule's organized so we could talk about whatever's on your mind. So we see an increase in sales now across York region, and we see a decrease in prices. What's happened? Because the last few weeks, sales have been extremely low. Well, I'll tell you what's happened, and we're seeing it out there as we're working with our buyer clients. We're seeing sellers, lots of them that have been strong at maintaining their price, finally understanding, lowering their price to what makes sense for the buyers, and the buyers are buying. That's what's happening, and that's why you'll see average sales price across the board has come down, but sales in most cases has gone up. So buyers are there, they're prepared to buy, but if you're selling, you got to be priced at a price that makes sense to the buyer. Or don't sell, get off the market. I wouldn't be sitting there on the market forever. If you're not selling now, you're not going to sell tomorrow at the same price. Something has to change. Let me show you what I mean. We'll start off with Vaughan. Here's detached properties just for Vaughan, broken down by week for a whole year. 24 detached properties were sold. 3 of those were at $2 million or more. And 24 is a big week compared to, I'm going back all the way since the beginning of June. 24 is one of the better weeks as far as sales go. Average sold price has come down. It's now sitting at $1,532,000 for the average detached property sold in Vaughan. $1,532,000 is 22% lower than last year's average sold price. And if you remember, last year what was happening at this time, prices were headed up. This year, prices are either steady or heading down. Well, that gap is just going to get bigger as we get into the new year coming up. Median price is 20% lower than last year's median price. Median price right now is sitting at $1,425,000. So for this 1 week compared to last week, average prices in Vaughan for detached properties has come down. But I have here the dotted line is a 4-week moving average to try to eliminate some of the peaks and valleys on a week-to-week analysis. And this helps us to kind of spot a trend. And really, it's still actually quite up and down. But I just don't see prices moving that much over the last few months. But this week, prices have come down across the board. Sales, 43% fewer sales this year to date versus last year. That's a big difference in volume. And actually, let me go back one side. Let me show you here. We sold 24. It's not a ton of sales, but higher than what it's been the last few weeks. 42% of those sales were sold at list price or more. Why would that be? Well, sellers dropped their prices, dropped their price to where it was aggressive. It's like, we've had enough, we got to sell, let's drop our price and get the property sold. And buyers jumped in and bought them because they thought it was a reasonable price for them. So that's why the property selling at list price or more is way higher for this week, November 16th, than what it's been the last few weeks. Sellers just did not have the right price. Listings, we have 13% fewer listings this year to date versus last year. Months of inventory is sitting at 2.6. It's come down quite a bit from where it's been over the last few weeks, sitting at 2.6, and average days on market is 19. Now that's listings days on market. Property days on market would be a different number altogether. Richmond Hill, sales are up. 15 detached properties sold. 2 of those were at $2 million or more. Average sold price has come down from the previous week. It's now at $1,639,000. 1,639 is one of the lower prices that we've had over the course of this year. Compared to last year, $1,639,000 is 14% lower than last year's average sold price. The median price of $1.4 million is 22% lower than last year's median price. 45% fewer sales this year to date versus last year. That's a big number, 45%. And listings, 26% fewer listings this year versus last year. Months of inventory also sitting at 2.6, just like Vaughan. Markham, 13 detached properties were sold. Markham, it seems, almost every week is doing the opposite of what's going on in Vaughan and Richmond Hill. So Markham, 13 detached properties were sold, which is a very low number compared to the whole summer, actually, and the fall. Only one sold at $2 million or more. Average sold price is $1,622,000. $1,622,000 is 7% lower than last year's average sold price. The median price of $1,680,000 is 3% higher than last year's median price. We have 50% fewer sales in Markham this year versus last year. 50%. Big change in volume in Markham. 28% fewer listings, and months of inventory has gone up, is sitting at 3 months of inventory. Here are condos for all of York Region. 31 condos were sold. These are condo apartments, not condo townhouses. So condo apartments, 31 were sold. None of those were at $1 million or more. Average sold price came down a little bit. It's now sitting at $675,000. $675,000 is 7% lower than last year's average sold price. My slide here. Median price of $695,000 is 2% higher than last year's median price. We have 36 fewer condo sales this year versus last year. 4% more listings. So we have less sales, more listings going onto the market. What do you think eventually is going to happen with price? The more listings are out there, less sales. Price is going to be trending down there. Months of inventory sitting at 3.3 months of inventory. Here's a quick summary of Vaughan for months of inventory. Vaughan, Richmond Hill, and Markham, and condos for all of York Region. Look, every neighborhood is reacting in its own way. Generally speaking, prices are either stable or heading down. The degree will be different in each neighborhood. Make sure you're working with somebody who at the very least is going to tell you the true numbers, is going to really tell you for real what you should be expecting if you go onto the market or if you're looking to buy, and then you could make smart decisions for yourself. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.